Welcome to the Cosmic Busker. My name is Bobby Cody. In this video I want to take a look at something that happened to me recently. Give you a quick little bit of background. This is a very interesting story. Stick around for it. It's pretty wow. Ultimately, there's videotape of it. There was an attack on me. I'm homeless and I was attacked this past winter. And there's videotape of it. I'm going to eventually get that and put it up here. I've heard it was an insane video. I haven't seen it yet. I'm trying to get it via what's called the OPRA Act, Open Public Records Act. So hopefully getting that video soon. But I want to tell you about what happened that led up to that attack, what happened previous to it, and you're going to find this fascinating. I have some photos as well. So essentially I've been living homeless for about 2.5 years. I went homeless in this bout June 15, 2017, because the child support takes 2/3 of my income. I've been homeless almost 10 years, or unable to pay rent for 10 years. So anyway, this past winter was my first winter outside. The previous winter, a attractive young 21-year-old let me live in our house. That's another story. But this past winter was my first winter outside. I slept outside. Now, there's a shelter. This is in Montclair, New Jersey. I'm homeless. And there's a shelter. It's called a Respite. The shelter, it's only a cold weather shelter. They only open it when it's under 33 degrees, and it's only open overnight. You get there at 10 p.m. and leave at like 8 or 7 or something. I've never stayed there because it's communal living. I refuse to sleep in that type of environment. But the gentleman who runs it always kept on trying to get me to stay there and play music, guitar for them while they're there, and I just refuse. I only sleep in private. So ultimately, it got so cold this past winter, I put up a tent deep in the wilderness, right by the creek, down in the glen, and I built it really well. I built it so that it could not be seen, camouflaged. It was awesome. It was private. I could sleep there. I had a propane heater that I put in the tent, so it's 20 degrees outside. It's like 50 or 60 in the tent. I felt very comfortable. It was just awesome. And it was hidden really well. Camouflaged like you wouldn't believe. I'm going to show you that in a moment. I have a photo of how well it was camouflaged. I was so proud of it. So ultimately, what I did was I told the guy who runs the shelter, kept on asking me to play music. I said, I got a tent. It turned out it's near where you live, I told him. He's like, you got a tent? And he said, oh, I'm going to tell the police. I'm like, don't do that. Sure enough, about a week or two later, I'm walking in the park near where I had my tent hidden, and I see the police there. So I'm like, oh, no. So I don't want to go near my tent, I'm kind of wandering around. Finally, they come up to me. Police go, you the one with the tent? I'm like, yeah. They're like, all right, show us. So it was deep in the glen. So we're at the edge of the cliff, looking into the glen, deep down into the glen. And they show us where it is. And I said, I pointed to them. I said, pointed out, and they're like, that's it? They looked at each other, two policemen, like, I never would have found it. You? Like, nope, it was so well hidden. So I'm going to cut to that right now. I'll show you how well I hid the tent, what it looked like. You could not tell. It looked like a rock. Take a look. I took a photo of it. So here's a photograph I took of the tent. If you look at the top middle of the photo, you can see the tent there in gray. Looks kind of pyramidal in shape. Essentially, the way I built it to camouflage into the environment and look like a rock. And that's exactly what the police thought when they were looking down. They said, I thought that was a rock. I never would have known that was a tent. My big problem is that I don't like lying. So they asked me where it was, and I just showed them. Stupid thing, I shouldn't have. So the police gave me, I think it was like 3 or 4 days to get my stuff out of the tent and take down the tent. It was a real steep decline down into the glen. It's very steep and it's hard to climb down, so I'm like, great, So it was going to be difficult enough to get all my stuff out of there to begin with in the middle of the winter, down this steep hill. The next day I was in the train station where I had been living earlier. I'd been living in the train station. I was charging my phone, this phone that I'm recording this on right now. I was charging my phone at the train station. That's one of the problems being homeless. Power, getting access to power and outlets so you can charge your phone, charge whatever you have to do, your razor, everything. So I was in the train station charging, and some big, tall, 6'2", 6'3", about 300-pound young high school kid came in, and he went to yank my charger out of the outlet. I'm like, hey, don't touch my shit. And he's, 5'6", 140 pounds. He's 6'2", 300 pounds, twice my weight, and almost a foot taller than me. I says, hey, don't touch my shit. He looks at me, he goes, what'd you say to me? I looked at him, I said, don't touch my shit. Boom! I didn't see it coming. Tackles me, slams me against the wall. So I grab him, and we're like struggling against the wall. Next thing I know, boom, we're on the ground. And I didn't know how it happened. So I pick myself up, and he goes running out. He goes completely running out of the train station. So I go running after him, make sure he's leaving. He leaves, and at that point I'm like, ow, my foot. I don't know what happened. Ultimately, the police got involved. The police came because I had to go to the hospital. I was so badly injured, it was incredible. He flung me around, and my understanding is that I haven't seen the video yet, but my feet went flying through the air and I landed on the ground. I was literally flying through the air. I don't know. Police have seen the video. They told me, you gotta see it. It's sick, man, what happened. So I'm gonna try to get it from YouTube so you can see what happened. But ultimately the injuries I sustained were, I thought my foot was broken. It wasn't, I got it x-rayed, but I couldn't put any weight on the bottom of the foot. None. I had to walk my left foot, I had to walk on my tiptoes. I also had bruised ribs, pulled chest muscle, and I think my elbow was broken as well. Hospital didn't even x-ray my elbow. So I got bottom of my foot, I can't put any weight on it, bruised ribs, pulled chest muscle, busted elbow, and so much pain. I broke my hip 30 years ago, and now I got to climb down a steep hill in a glen in the middle of the winter and get all my stuff out of my tent on one leg. A day or two after that, it went down to 2 degrees. So now I have no warmth, no tent, busted foot, busted ribs, pulled chest muscle, busted elbow, 2 degrees, and I gotta somehow carry everything I own out of the tent, let alone the fact that I walk around with a huge bag. It contains my stuff, my guitar on my back. I've never been in so much pain in my life. So ultimately, I did get all my stuff out of the tent. I didn't take the tent down. I said, fuck it, I'm leaving it there. They can do whatever they want with it. As long as my stuff, everything I care about is out of there, I'm done. And about a week later, the police came in, they destroyed the tent, and they flattened it. Spring came along. It took me a month to heal. I was hopping around Montclair, all over, all Montclair has seen me. I was hopping around for 1 month on one foot, carrying everything that I own. So much pain. I've never thought I could make it through that. But then the spring came around, and I want to show you the tent. It flattened. I'll tell you what happened next. Here's a picture of the flattened tent. See, here's my tent flattened out, and off to the left of the tent, where all the color is, you can see the blue and brown. That's the tarp. A few days after I took this photo of the flattened tent, this was in the spring, the police came along and cleared the tent out as well, so it wasn't there. So once I came back, the tent was flattened out, as I showed you the picture, that spring, the following spring, so which was this past spring. So at that point, the tent's gone. And now what I'm going to tell you is kind of illegal-ish, so I can't say that I did it. But if I did do it, this would be my thinking. My thinking would be that without the tent there, with no tent there, really anybody can't stop somebody ultimately. They could potentially just take nature itself and build things out of nature. No hammer, no nails. Humans are very ingenuous in the way they choose to survive and attempt to survive. So, a week after the tent disappeared from that location in the glen, all of a sudden something appeared in place of where the tent had been flattened. And I'm going to show you a video of that right now. It remained standing in that place for 6 months. It's been 6 months since it was built. It's still there. I'm going to take you to a video of it that I recorded the other day. Actually, today it was. Here it is, the structure. Initially there was a tent here, built with no nails, just all natural materials and garbage. I have to admit, I visit that shelter that was built periodically, and just sometimes I just look at it and laugh and laugh and laugh. I just think it's funny. Anyway, so winter's coming up. I'm dreading the winter. I work. I don't have enough money to get my own place. Even if I did, I work part-time. Even if I did have a job full-time, they take 2/3 of my income in child support. I probably wouldn't be able to afford an apartment anyway, especially the security. I might be able to afford the apartment, but not the security. So I'm looking for assistance right now. I created a PayPal and a Patreon. If anybody want to help me out, I'm going to provide a link down below. I've tried to avoid doing that on my YouTube channel here, but with the winter coming up, I got to get some help. I don't want to sleep outside in the winter. I think for 3 days in a row, it was 2 degrees out here last winter, and all those 3 days I was sleeping outside. I wasn't able to sleep. It was just too painful. So I'm more looking to try to get an apartment before the dead cold sets in. So if you want to help out, PayPal, Patreon are down below. I'd appreciate your help, but only if you can. I don't want to hurt anybody, obviously. But other than that, even if you can't help out, if you want, just please subscribe, like, and share. I don't expect this to work with my minimal number of viewers. I probably am be up a creek. But so be it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to try to post more videos regularly and more frequently. And particularly if you help out and I get an apartment, I promise you that'll mean I can do much more frequent videos living in an apartment than I will be able to living homeless. Thanks for watching, everybody, and everybody have a great day and a nice weekend.